嘿、大家好，我是怎么 John。今天要跟各位聊的是 Mind Game 的 KD 特辑 Part1。在自由市场如火如荼的进行期间 ，Mind Game 上架了 KD 作为来宾的集数，谈到了 KD 的效率、过去雷霆的时刻，以及现在篮球的情况等等。那么我们就赶快开始。
记得订阅，怎么唱？
但在正式进入 Podcast 之前，先让我们进入一段工商服务时间。感谢本集影片由德国 Emma 赞助播出。德国 Emma 是欧洲销量第一的床垫品牌，全球已经热销超过1000万件商品，还是全球获奖最多的床垫。之前就有推荐过他们最热销的 Hybrid 独立筒床垫，它的 CP 值非常高，支撑性很好，躺下去软中带撑。爸妈已经睡了将近1年，觉得腰酸背痛真的改善了非常多。最惊艳的是抗扰动设计，旁边有人翻身，你根本不会被吵醒。那如果你是怕热的人，可以考虑他们更高阶的 Diamond 系列，它有石墨烯凉感科技，而且透气度很够，对于怕闷的人非常赞。然后一样有超强的支撑跟抗扰动设计，该有的机能都没有少。不止床垫，他们的记忆枕我也很推荐，3层的设计可以自由调整高度，怎么找都能够找到自己最适合的。还有一个人们推荐就是益生菌保洁垫，防水防螨，有时候不小心泼水都不怕渗下去，对于过敏体质或有宠物的人超级实用。除此之外，德国 Emma 提供100天免费试睡，加上10年的保固，而且全台湾都有免费配送，还可以零利率分期，平均下来每天差不多只要3块钱就能睡到德国品质的好床垫。现在官网有夏季优惠活动，最低6折起，只要到结账页面输入我的专属折扣码 JOHN2025，马上就能享有额外的9折优惠。现在就快点击下方资讯栏连结，趁活动快结束之前帮自己换一张真正好睡的床。Podcast 一开始，3人先从 KD 的效率开始谈起。老郑这边先说到 KD 从12年开始，每一年的 field goal 命中率都是50%以上，而且无论是3分中距离切入，再到持球、无球等等都很精通。接着换 KD 分享他是如何进步到现在这样的。
That was the main thing, wanting to expand my game. Early on when I came into the league, if I could think about my first 20 games in the league, I felt like I was just catching and shooting. A lot of it was catch and shoot threes, catch and shoot mid-range. I was playing fast.
So you felt it was happening so quick, you just felt comfortable rising up.
That was my game, just shooting. You know what I'm saying, at that point. So that's what I, fell back on when nothing else worked. I get stopped. I'm not strong enough yet. Guy, hold me up. I'm just going to shoot over you.
Yeah.
And then I didn't shoot well my first 2 months, 3 months, maybe my first 6 months of the season. I think I started to figure out the pace of the game. Understanding the pick and roll, I was getting more pin downs, and when I was coming off pick and rolls early in the season, I was just shooting. Right. And then I'm looking at my teammates' faces. I'm like, damn, he was open. You know what I'm saying? So I just started to understand my teammates more in the game more, and I wanted to be trusted in every situation on the offensive side of the ball.
而 KD 也说，他希望自己在场上的时候没有任何局限，也希望教练能够在任何的情况下都信任他，这也是促使 KD 自己进步的主要原因。接着3人聊到了有关切入方向的习惯。
You prefer going left?
Now I do.
But you started going right?
Yeah.
But this is actually, that's interesting to me, right? Because it bothered you that you had one side that was weaker than the other. But statistically, he preferred, and prolific going left. But actually, statistically, as good or better going right.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes that's because people know you want to go left.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy you said that because when I got to Golden State and we started working out more, you told me that. And it's always stuck in my mind that, the defense knows if you're going left, most of the time you're going all the way to the cup. So that 1-2 dribble pull up going left has been a staple for me. But it's more so about the pickup of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Going left. Like sometimes I try to pick the ball up right here like my normal shot. They swiping that down. Right. Instead of, we did this a lot too. I started, changing my pickups and I'm shooting the ball this way now. So a lot of that stuff is just adjustments to how physical the defense was and me just wanting to get shots off.
而 Nash 也说到，虽然 KD 把这一切讲得好像很容易，但这很关键的是因为 KD 有极佳的平衡和协调才能够做到，同时也需要每天的训练去修正微调，才能达到最终的结果。接着3人开始聊到180俱乐部的话题。
The 90-50-40 club, or 50-40-90, however you want to break it down. You've done it twice. And it was actually 10 years apart from when you did it. I think the first time you did it was in 13, and I believe the last time was 23.
Yep.
But you want to know who's actually the leader in the 50-40-90 club?
I think it's this guy. Was it 4?
4.
And I feel like I missed like 3.
You know what? That's funny. We were talking
probably
about
have
it.
too.
We were talking about it. My first year with the Lakers, here at the end, I was fucking 100 years old, but no offense. But I think I missed it by a layup, like one field goal.
Man,
right?
and that stings every time.
And I think earlier in my career, I missed it. Like I shot 897 from the line. And you think back, it's like 1 or 2 free throws. And for a whole season?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So I don't think about the 4 times doing it. I think about the 2 times.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
接着换到 KD 这边也来分享类似的经验。
I think it was another time in Brooklyn where I was like 39% from the 3 going into the last game. I had to make like 4 out of 6. I was like 1 for 8. I was just, man. And I was thinking about it too. I wanted it so bad, and it's just like that's another part of the mental game.
Yeah,
you can get in your own way.
Yeah, for sure.
Thinking too much about stuff like that. So yeah, I remember that one time in Brooklyn. I think it was another time in OKC where I think it was the free throws I might have missed. I was like 88, 87 for the year, and I tricked
free
off.
throws for a shooter your caliber. The free throws drives you crazy.
That's
right?
the crazy.
Like, drives you crazy.
We talked. I think we might have talked. I was like 84 this year, like 83, 82 at one point this year. I was just, and that's been bothering me.
接着3人继续聊场上的内容，老詹先是分享了自己生涯初期其实是几乎不出手中距离的。
Okay, my first 14, 15 years, like, there was no need for me to take a lot of mid-range, bro. Like,
I saw a clip of him when I was doing research for this. Take off from like, I don't know, man. It was like near the free throw line, and it was like the velocity he was traveling at.
It was. Yeah, I seen some
like,
clips too.
what in the world was
but
that?
that also
in Portland.
That also comes from like my little league coach too. Like my little league coach and high school coach, they always talk about, don't settle.
Yeah.
Like stop settling. Like, and then you get people in the crowd who obviously don't know basketball like we know basketball, and they tell you to dunk everything. Dunk everything. Get to the hole, dunk everything. By the way, it's people in NBA crowds that do that still. Dunk everything. You know, but I felt like putting pressure, you know, when I entered the league, you know, in 03, you know, it was, I definitely shot a little bit more mid-range my rookie year because
no spacing.
There's no spacing.
在稍微谈到老詹的中距离之后，3人聊到过去集数，老詹和 Nash 就提到过的中距离话题，先从 KD 作为例子开始去聊。
There's a stat here, 2021-22, we were together. 58% from 3 to 10 feet, 58% from 10 to 16 feet, 16 feet to the three-point line, 71%. Unless the Googles are wrong.
That's crazy.
这边先暂停一下 ，Nash 这边所提供的数据有严重的错误，可以看到画面上的数据表是根据 Basketball References。那么我们就继续回到 Podcast。
10 to 16 at
That's
58.
that's not in an empty gym.
Right.
Like that's a lot of homework.
It's a few guys in our league. It's a few guys. I'm not a lot. It's a few guys in our league that you believe every time they shoot the ball is going in.
Right.
And KD's one of those guys.
It is. That's a lot of pressure, boy.
No, it is. It's listen, like when you shoot the ball, when Steph shoot the ball, if Steph get a look, you don't think he's gonna miss.
I think Shea is at that point too.
Shea's at that point too, especially in the middies. Like
every time he shoot, I don't think it's going in.
Yeah, especially when he's fucking his rhythm right now.
接着3人继续延伸话题，聊到为何对于明星球员而言，中距离是如此的重要。
The mid-range has never been more important. It's just it has to come from the right dudes. Right?
Exactly.
Like the court is spaced now by the role players.
Exactly.
What do you think they're trying to take away? Threes and layups. So the star has to be able to make mid-range shots, or else the team's not going to be able to score in a playoff situation.
That's simple.
They have to be able to loosen the defense takes with there. So I think the analytics community would agree with that too.
Yeah, they would.
It's really just we don't want players X, Y, and Z taking a bunch of mid-range.
I mean, because the mid-range, I believe, is if you can't find a good shot, we should look for the good shots early, the threes.
Attack the paint.
Attack the paint, try to get layups, try to get threes. But when it's 5 to 6 seconds on the clock, get a ball to the best player. And if he shoot a mid-range at that point, then he shoot a mid-range. But we're not going to waste the clock trying to look for a 3, 2 seconds on the clock, and we giving it to no
Why are you pointing at me?
Dorian Finney-Smith with 2 seconds on the clock to make a 3. That's not what we or Royce O'Neal. That's not. I mean, they can hit it for sure, but
But it's
that's not
not deadly,
sustainable offense for us going forward.
接着三人开始聊到不同的话题，有关过去雷霆时期的 KD 是如何看待当时雷霆 Harden 的离开。
How do you feel looking back? Like, I know it's easy now to be like, well, yeah, we lost James Harden.
It's a different era. I mean, I think after a team that I think we exceeded expectations with that team, and when you reach the finals and you go through a run like that so quick, I don't think a GM or owner was ready for that. You know, so you expecting a team that's 22, 23 to, you know.
So you sped up the timeline too fast.
We sped up the timeline, all of us.
Yeah.
You know, each individual player. Serge, you didn't know, like, he came out of nowhere. He came out here being the best shot blocker in the league. I'm averaging 30 at 21 years old. Russell is 22 years old as an all-star. James, 6 man at 20. Like, so we exceeded the timeline, so they wasn't ready for that. And I don't believe, that's just my theory. I don't know exactly what Sam was thinking or the owner, but my.
接着 KD 也说到，他不认为当时的雷霆管理阶层有准备好让雷霆一直成为 contender。在他们站上冠军舞台之后，理论上应该是要继续升级团队，而非降级。但这一大部分也是源自于团队的进程加快了太多，就连 Sam Presti 当时也只有30多岁而已。接着 KD 就这部分继续聊下去。
But it was beautiful. Yeah, it was too fast. It was just. We were ahead of our time. Everything happened too quickly, and
yeah, because you think about it, like you went from like coming in the league being like I can't do anything, I was going to rise up and shoot, to second in MVP voting at 21.
Come on, man! First team on NBA at 21. Like doing things at 20, 21. Not just me, but everybody on our team on smaller, different skills.
Sure.
Even our coaches. He was Scott Brooks. That was his first. He was the coach of the year. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was doing things. And Scott was our interim, so I didn't, you know, they probably didn't think that Scott was going to be there that long after being an interim, you know. So we all exceeded expectations, and you need a lot. You know, you got to spend money if you want to be in contention every year. I don't think they was ready for that just yet. So.
在聊完过去雷霆之后 ，Nash 也称赞如今的 Presti 对比过去，看来已经完全做好准备，而三人也都针对如今的雷霆表达看法。
OKC wins this year. It's a problem for the league.
Yeah, it is.
It's a problem for the league. Those guys are all young dudes. Like, there's few teams that would have to make big upgrades to compete on a year-to-year basis with this team for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing OKC you got to worry about is the cap. Are they going the second apron? Are they going to go into the apron and all that stuff?
True, but even with that, they have so many picks. They can try to use that versatility to stay under the second apron and still be just
got a lot of
right. I mean, but it comes down to two guys, like for real. I mean, 3 guys. The rest of these dudes, they can be
interchangeable.
You know, like Shea's gonna be that guy for the rest of his career. What is Jalen Williams and Chet gonna be? You know what I'm saying? Well, of course, they playing great right now. But those 3 guys got to keep getting. I mean, Shea's already at that level, but those 2 guys got to keep getting better. I mean, that's just the facts of it. Will just be more consistent.
Right.
And I think they will. But that's really what it is for them. I mean,
KD 特辑 Part1 的最后10多分钟，三人谈到了有关现今篮球的未来，并从这赛季冠军战作为案例开始谈起。
Tell me a little bit about where you think the game's going from a profile of player, but also like strategically on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I think strategically as a team, we've come into a organized, random basketball.
I always say jazz. You play off each other, right?
On both ends, because you look at OKC.
That's right.
On their defense. I watched Shea, or let's say Jalen Williams get beat off the dribble, and then hit Lou Dort in the corner. He's just, you know, in regular help. But if he get beat off that dribble, he coming over to take that drive, and then here come Jalen Williams
just going straight corner.
So they do that all around the court, and then they on top of that they got good one-on-one defense, but they are in tandem, regardless, without even being a scheme. It's just natural.
Kind of random at that end, reading each other.
Exactly.
Which not every team can do.
No, it's hard to do that.
Which is
防守端拿出雷霆的顶尖默契作为例子之后，进攻端三人也拿六马作为例子。只其这两端的内容几乎和上次分析总冠军战时相去不远。我们直接来听 KD 对这种随机性比赛内容的看法。
Everyone thinks it's practice. It's practice, but it's just like it's
organized
hard to
chaos.
It's organized.
Organized chaos.
It's not scripted in the game, but in practice, like you could tell that they on the same page. It's almost like
Principles.
nonverbal. And you see, and you know, being in the finals, a lot of times you're not talking a lot to your teammates. You know what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
You out there really focused on being the best that you can and being at your highest level. These guys don't feel like they have a dialogue, obviously, but they're not walking each other through everything. They just reading off of, read and react off of one another, and that's from good coaching, good practicing, holding each other accountable throughout the season, watching film, like all that stuff matters.
Podcast 最后谈到了近代防守是否变得更有创造性，我们就把这段当作是今天的结尾吧。
Would you say defenses have gotten better, more creative?
No, not in a sense, because I don't want to say more creative, because it's a switch league now. Everyone wants to switch. And to be honest, the only way that you can just like switch is you have to have the personnel to do it, But I think the creativity is happening, like, and New York did a good job of this. Like sometimes when Jalen Brunson was getting switched off on Siakam, they was doing a great job of kicking him out.
Yeah, especially in that post.
Yeah, on the post. I think that's been communicated a lot better. Like kicking a small guy out, telling him to go weak side corner or find somebody on the weak side, because there's not too many guys that can actually make the pass. Once the switch happens, he rolls him down and he can fire it weak side to get the shot. It's not many guys in our league that can make that. So I think as far as the creativity in that range has gotten better. But defense is always boiled down to just like fucking talking.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, you can make up a lot of shit by just talking through it too.
I would almost flip it. It's not the defense. Maybe defensive involved, not involved. Offenses have challenged them more.
Yeah, just challenged them more. Yeah.
好了，那么以上就是今天的影片。喜欢这部影片，请记得按赞、订阅及分享给更多人知道。我是怎么John，我们下次再见喽。